Arsenio Hall. Pitchy cow. Homemade cranberry sauce. Well. I'm washed out, I'm white, and I'm ready to rock and roll, but I made it. Here I am on a Friday night. It is Chill Stream Friday. This is Untethered Live, and I am Jake Johnson, your host. How are you doing this fine evening? I'll try to fix the washout in a minute. I'm lucky I'm here. It only took me 9 times to get on. 9 times of completely restarting and resetting up everything to get started. It is not an easy task. Hold on a minute while I try to fix this washout. I don't know that I even can. We're live. I'm taking it. I'll take it. So far, so good. Come on, baby. Don't crash. Oh, that's better. I'll take it. How's that? That better? Not quite so pale in your face? I had a great day. Yes, I did. And I hope you did too. I had a great night last night also. We'll talk about that in a minute. All things considered, I can't complain too much. I still need a new computer, and it's driving me crazy. But other than that, I'm kicking ass. Hey, Caucasian, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. What happened to you Wednesday night? You popped in, said hello, and then you wasn't here anymore. Tried to talk to you a few times, and you's gone. Everything all right, I hope? I saw the new Batman movie last night. I won't tell you how I did that, but I did. It was fantastic. It gives me hope. You see, there haven't been a good movie made in 20 years. And every second you get closer to that 20-year mark, the worse it gets. To the point where movies are just ridiculously oversaturated with wokeness and impossible to watch without having something shoved down your throat. Something you don't believe in. So, I've all but given up on movies. But the new Batman movie was a special thing, and I said I'd watch it, and I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a shot. I watched it, and I was enthralled. There was not one woke moment in the whole thing. Not one message shoved down your throat. Just good old-fashioned detective comics. Like Sherlock Holmes meets superheroes. It's beautiful. It's probably one of the best movies I've seen in 20 years. I highly recommend it. If you get a chance to go see the new Batman movie, do it. You won't regret it. It's good. And the sparkly vampire actually did a good job. Which I did not see that coming at all. But apparently he can act. So, there's that movie review done. Hey, Laura, how are you? Didn't see you sneak in there. And April and Kevin, of course, my loyal troop. How are you doing? Hope you guys are happy and excited. I went out to an open mic night last night, hung out with some friends, and did some music, and ended up getting a job out of it. So that's good. Always nice to have some respect put in your direction. My reputation apparently precedes me. But we had a good night. We played well. That was my band, my new band. Went up there and jammed out for a set. And everybody there showed a little fealty, showed a little respect. And when we left that night, we got booked. So that's how it works. One shake turns the other hand. Something like that. Alrighty then, sparkly vampire. You know, the Twilight guy. The sparkly vampire guy. You know what I'm talking about. Didn't you see Twilight? You're a girl. I assume you've seen it. You know, Teen Jacob, Teen Edward. Well, one of those teams was with a sparkly vampire. Had diamond, sparkly skin. Girls, they thought it was a good idea at the time, but just didn't play that well. It sounded good anyway. Let's give him sparkly skin. We'll love it. Made him look like a pansy. But hey. Anyway, he played the new Batman. Robert Pattinson, that's his name. And quite an accomplished actor in his own right. But I didn't see him playing Batman. You know, after years of Christian Bale's and Ben Affleck's playing Batman, you wouldn't expect a sparkly vampire skinny feller to pull off the Dark Knight. But he does. He pulls it off. Gooder. That must be a southern word. I'm here with people I love. Yes, you are, and they love you back. Sleeping in water is bad mojo. That's correct. They teach you that when you're 3. Don't fall asleep in the bathtub. You could drown, or worse, wake up all pruny. I'm guessing you fell asleep in the hot tub. But yeah, it's bad for you. And it also could cause pneumonia. Any number of other bad things that could happen. So anyway, I'm officially a professional musician again in my own right. That's happy. I'm happy about that. In your business, getting booked is a bad thing? Well, in my business, that's the whole reason we do my business is to get booked. But I see what you're saying, though. You don't want to be booked that way. Like Bookem Dano. You don't want that. But in my business, getting booked means you're getting paid. And that's what we've been working towards, getting paid. So now that has begun, we're going to try to fill up the calendar shortly thereafter. And get paid a lot more. It's got to start somewhere, though. Bookem Dano. Well, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. I need somebody to be proud of me. I ain't got nobody anymore. It's nice. Nice to have somebody to be proud of you. But I mean, we work for it. We work every week trying to get to that point. And we got there. Yes, let's live. Don't text and drive. You know how I feel about that. That's bad for your health, texting and driving. But it was a nice night. We hung out. There's probably 6 or 8 other musicians there of different sorts. They all got up and jammed out, and it was nice fun to watch and hang out with people, colleagues, people of your own ilk. And made some new friends. It's pretty cool. Drive then. Drive and be happy. And if you want to text, pull over or stop at a red light or something. Don't need you getting in no car wrecks. You know how that business goes. And my voice held out for the few songs that I sang. That's good. I don't know that it'll always do that, but it did it that night, so that's all right. I'm not really hoarse today, so I guess that's an improvement. We just have to keep going in that direction and hope that it gets better. I don't know what we're going to do if it don't get better, because I've got to sing at least half or 75% of the night. Stopped at Wendy's. The Baconator. Yummy, yummy. I had a Subway for dinner tonight. Had a meatball sub and one of those chicken ranch subs. I ate half of that. Got a spot of a headache, though. Must be all the bread. Pasta and bread. Starch, not good for your body. Makes hair grow on your upper lip. Laura, you been having a good day? You've been awful talkative tonight. I like a double meat foot long, and I split it with my dog. I wouldn't let my dog have any of my sandwich. You want food? You got dog food. You can get my sandwich. Some people love their dogs way more than I do, though. Pretty good? Good. Glad to hear it. I got a cheeseburger and some fancy coffee drink. Ooh, I might make me a pot of coffee tonight. That sounds like a good idea. That might be just what my headache needs. Nice hot cup of joe. So anyway, the plan is, as far as I understand it, in the next week or two, we're going to get together and film some videos, make some product, and then pass that out amongst the folks and try to fill up the calendar over the next month. See if we can't get some of those bookings and make some money. About damn time. I'm ready for the world to open back up. It's been a long time a coming. You share with your dog all the time, whatever I'm eating. Well, that's lovely. I'm one of those I don't let the dogs in the house kind of guys. I'm filthy enough. I don't need an animal in here. You are with the Squatch in spirit, or did you go to Georgia? Oh, you agree with the dog eating the hot dog. I see your emojis now. That's odd. That's a weird looking dog, too. That's not even a real dog. It's like a cat dog. That's the kind of dog you let off in the wilderness and he goes out about 5 steps and get eaten by an owl or something. You hear, that'd be it. It's over. Mine is my eyes and ears. Yep. Yep, and dogs are good for that. I think somebody was at my house today. I could have used a dog. We are getting out and partying before the Russians invade, Comrade Jake. Yeah, it won't be long, apparently. Anyway, this morning I woke up to the sound of banging on the side of the house. Boom, 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 boom. I woke up in a panic, jumped up and looked outside, and there was nobody there. I don't know if I dreamed it or not. Either somebody was here and I missed them, or I was dreaming somebody was beating on the side of the house, and it woke me up. I don't know which. That's a bad feeling, though. Then that is owl food, correct. All those little dogs are owl food. They're just protected by humans, kept in little purses and things. You let them out in the wilderness and they won't be there very much longer. If all people disappeared off the face of the earth tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, those little dogs wouldn't exist anymore. They're not real dogs. They're fur with attitude. Giant rats. I stand by my convictions. I once had a cat, bobtail cat, for a pet. And it thought it was a dog. Apparently, it had been raised around dogs or whatever, because this cat would sit on the porch and bark at cars going by. If you ever heard a cat bark, it's the funniest thing you've ever heard in your life. Sounds like they're throwing up, but they're not. They're barking. It's weird. He wasn't coughing on a hairball either. I watched him do it. He would bark at cars go by. It was a cat. They never got on the furniture, never rubbed up on my legs, none of that. Just hung out in the yard. Smart cat. That's the only cat I've ever had that I liked. The rest of them can be buried up to their neck in the ground and have lawnmowers driven over them for all I care. You're welcome. Now you live with it. That's weird. April barks at cars going by the house. It's very sexy. I bet. You're a strange bird, Kev. I like it. I got my new guitar out this weekend and put it through the paces. That was lovely. Played like a dream. Probably the best guitar I've ever built. I showed it to you last week, the black one. It's a good little run. Sounds amazing, plays amazing, gets lots of compliments. Looks nice and old. I like it. It's old like me. You're a peacock. Do you shake your feathers when you want to get laid? Turn your butt up and go, does this remind you of anything? You want to touch it? Spread your feathers out and go, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous. That's what peacocks do. Let's see, what would I be if I had to be an animal? Probably one of those monkeys with the big eyes that has the attitude. Macaques. Is that what they're called? April is about to gag. Well, pull her head off of that thing. Let her come up for air. What are you talking about? I'm guessing not what I'm hearing. Oh, the peacock. You guys are dirty. Exciting. I hung out with a guy this week, last night, that was in my band 20 years ago. A guy named Adrian Watts. He's the guy that does the booking for the place that we just went and played. Lots of stories we got with that guy. We spent 12 years together. Dirty Jake. It wasn't me. I didn't say it. I just responded to it. Don't call me dirty. I'm just a reactionary tale. I don't think of anything. I just react to it. He's the one that said it. He's dirty. Called himself a peacock and then said April was about to gag. What would you be thinking? My mind goes wherever you lead it. You guys want to hear a song? Well, I hear that train a-coming, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sun shining, I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison just to watch him die. I don't think it's right. Well, I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Well, when I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a gut boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle, I hang my head and cry. Sweet. Well, I bet there's rich folks eating on a fancy dining car, probably snorting cocaine and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming, I know I can't be free. I hear that lonesome whistle, and that's what tortures me. Well, if I owned that railroad train, that fancy car was mine. Probably take it on a little farther down the line, far away from Folsom Prison. It's where I want to stay. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle, it blows my blues away. There you go. A little Johnny Cash for you. Johnny Cash. He's a lovely man and a great songwriter. This song was written in Germany from what I understand, while he was pining back home, thinking about somebody else's song who wrote a song similar to it, and he plagiarized it. That's just my thoughts on the subject. So now it has been critiqued. It's also a beautiful song. It's also been art appreciated. Take that, copyright people. It's called Fair Use, Article 17 of the Fair Use Code. Try it. I've been getting lots of copyright strikes every time I play a song. There are copyright claims, whatever. I don't like seeing it anyway. Kevin Peacocks. Now, do you get my nickname, Mr. Peacocks? I got it when you said it the first time. I was just making fun of you. You've told me that before. But what else do you come here for other than to get a hard time from old Jake? That's what I'm here for. It's what I do. If I didn't pick on you, you wouldn't think I loved you. But anyway, I enjoy it. Well, the law's in control and there's nowhere to turn. Yeah, do what he wants 'cause he got funding to burn. So keep your eyes wide open and stay behind the tape. There's a trichnosis. Better not step out of line and make a legal mistake. 'Cause you lose your rights when the man gets the cut. What's about to go down is American justice. Well, the truckers lining up, but they ain't buying gas. They say, hey, Trader Joe, you can kiss my ass. Mandate's gone bad and we've had about enough. When we put down our foot, it's bound to get tough. Well, the lines in the sand, trouble's heating up. We're about to lay down some American justice. 'Cause it's all about forcing you into compliance. The world's gone crazy and no one wants to take the blame. And you don't belong if you don't follow the science. You know what I'm talking about. So you vax to the max and you wear your mask of shame. But I got good news, all you gotta do is read the Bible. It's been foretold the good guys will win the game. And at the end of time, there's gonna be a big revival. So take control of your soul and try to stay out of the flames. Coppers hide truth, walking after their lust. Mainstream media keeps lying to us. No one left talking that you can trust. With your American justice, American justice, American justice, American justice, American justice. Here's a new song for you, right from me to you. Tell me what you think about it. Hey! Seps and Trichnosis, good to see you. Ahoy, matey. Glad you could drop by. I was thinking about you earlier today. But flames are warm and it's sort of cold here, yeah. Try to stay away from them flames, buddy. It's bad news. I know they're inviting, but they'll burn you up. Anyway, that's my new song, my newest, my latest, my very earliest creation. Hope you liked it. Yes, it's a little more political than I typically get, but it wasn't my idea. I just ran with it. Good thoughts, I hope. Always good thoughts. I was actually wondering if you were doing okay. Hadn't seen you in a while and was just thinking about you. I do that from time to time. You're on my mind. You're always on my mind. That's what good friends do. They think about each other. And sometimes it gets creepy. It's in the low, cold 80s here. Brr. It's kind of chilly today for me. It ain't cold, but it's chilly. Wind is blowing. I don't know. Let's see what the weatherman says it is. 50 degrees. Feels like 40 degrees. Supposed to get down to 41 tonight. Work tends to get in your way sometimes. I hear you, brother. Me too. Except my work is what I love to do for fun, so I'm never working. I'm always having a good time. Oh, you're on the Potomac, huh? Are you in Washington or Virginia? I don't know how far the Potomac goes. Maryland, something like that. All I know is you can see it from the White House. Arlington, Virginia. Okay. I was there a couple years ago with my mom before she passed away. We went and did the tour of D.C. back when it was safe to go there. Now it's like a demilitarized zone or something. Kind of weird. But it was lovely. Good memories. About 6 miles from the White House as the crow flies. Yep, I remember I went to the Arlington Cemetery. Went around all those big circles. Finally found a way in. That's quite the sight. If you've never been to Arlington Cemetery, I suggest you go, just for the sheer volume of the white crosses. It'll put a damper on your evening, but in a good way. Then we went by and saw the undying flame, or whatever you call it. Wonder how much that costs the taxpayers every year to keep flowing. Went by and saw the tomb of the unknown soldier. Went to the zoo. Went to the Smithsonian, or one of the Smithsonian buildings. I don't know if we got to see all of it, but we got to see one of them anyway. Went to a few cathedrals. Went to the White House. Didn't go in the White House, though. Couldn't figure out how to get to it. Eternal Flame, that's the one. Went to that big house up on the hill where one of the generals lived. I think General Lee or somebody lived there. I forget whose family it was. Several of the presidents have lived in that house at some point. It's like a marble, rose marble, or rose granite building. It's pretty interesting. Ain't far from the Eternal Flame, but I can't remember who lived there. It was somebody big. General Lee or Custer or somebody. I don't know. Somebody. Robert E. Lee, that's the one. Your family, the Lightfoots. They took our land to make Arlington Cemetery. Interesting. I didn't have you pegged for American Indian. I thought you were like Greek or something. Though now that you mention it, I suppose I can see it. Not like me, though. I'm totally American Indian, but you can't tell it by my tan. I got a little Irish in me. Enough to make my skin white. Right. There you go, Sepson. Seems like I read about that or something, that they'd encroached on the property, and so they eventually just sold it to them or whatever. Or maybe they took it. I can't remember. Anyway, it was interesting to see all that stuff and see that house standing as it stood back in those days. I got pictures of all of that stuff. Lightfoots are English, not Indian. With a name like Lightfoot? That's weird. Meet my English cousin, dances with koala bears. Dances with pheasants. Scottish, German, and Irish. I like to drink and fight. Bad combination. I like to drink too. I just don't care for alcohol. I know, I don't do my Native American heritage much justice, but I'm not much of a drunk. Can't hold my liquor. Apparently, though, I'm not very far removed from being full-blooded Indian because my grandmother was full-blooded, as was her mother. But my dad married an Irish chick, and thus I was born. Won't hold that against you. I don't know what it is, man. I just don't like to drink. I don't like being drunk. I get sick every time I drink, throw up. I drink a lot, though, but then I throw up, and I don't like doing that, so I quit doing that in my 20s. I once drank almost a gallon of vodka on a dare, and then spent the next 2 days in the hospital getting green shit pumped into my liver because apparently I had alcohol poisoning. Being doubled over in pain. I learned to stop doing that, though. That's not to say I don't partake in anything. I just don't like to drink. You know. I have moments. And I certainly don't have anything against it. I mean, after all, I sell alcohol for a living. That's what I do. I'm a beer salesman. Turns out it was antifreeze. No, it was vodka. There, news now. It was just I was 17 years old and had the frame of a 12-year-old, and drank way too much of it and shut my liver down. Jiminy, no wonder you don't like to drink. Moderation is a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I got very sick. So I hadn't been much of a drinker since then. No, they took it as an insult to Robert E. Lee. 3 times over. Wait. But, you know, I get around. You sell beer? Yes, that's what I do. I'm a musician. My whole job is to make people get drunk. Hook a drunk up. I can do that. You come out to where I'm playing at, and I'll hook you up tight. You will not leave on 2 feet, I promise you that. See, some guys get all uppity and think that they're special because they play the guitar or whatever. I know where I stand. My job is to make alcohol sales for the bar. If the bar makes money, they give me money. So I try to get everybody drunk, having a good time. They go and spend a lot of money at the bar, and then the bar gives me money and then has me come back because they know I'll sell lots of alcohol. That's the gig. That's the reality of it. Doesn't matter if you're any good or not. Talent is only 10% of the game. 10%. That's 90% politics and other things. Think about that when you're trying to become somebody. If they'd have told me that back when I was 15, I might have chose a different route, but I didn't. But that's the truth. Ain't that right, News Now? It's all about selling beer. You ain't special. I used to think I was special. I'm not. But it is kind of cool job, you know. It's better than digging ditches, I'll tell you that. I'd rather do this than this. Special ed, yeah. Maybe special in that way, maybe. Isn't that what we call band practice, though? Special ed? Educating special people? Now, you lose your uppity when you realize you can't do shit unless you get lucky. In all the years I've been doing this and all the people I've encountered while doing it, the only ones that ever made it anywhere just happened to be at the right place at the right time. Had nothing to do with what they did. That's right, Sepson. Short bus. I always wanted a short bus for a band vehicle. That'd be funny. Leave it yellow and leave the handicap stickers on it. And in the black letters where it says the name of the school, just put the band name. No irony whatsoever, just in black letters. Yep, that would be funny. I would just about pay to see that. Speaking of seeing things, go out immediately and watch the new Batman movie, The Batman. It is fantastic. They knocked it out of the park. Most people are just helmet-wearing window lickers. Yeah, the wheelchair ramp, that's how you get the speakers in the bus. I'm with it. I like it. But, yeah, there's a lot of non-player characters in the world. That's what I call them. There are certain people that do things, and they stand out because they do things. And you see them. They're out there, like, creating shit and making things happen. And then there's a whole drove of people that are like ants. They just kind of go in the same direction. You know what I mean? And you go by and you talk to them, and they all have the same thing to say. There's no original thought, no anything special. They're just there. And I think those people are not real people. I think they're just non-player characters. We need that. I agree with you, News Now. I think it'd be fantastic. I'd drive it. But kind of makes you wonder. That's evidence to the contrary that we don't live in a simulation. Because there are definitely some folks out there that just are there. They just have no purpose whatsoever. Conformity is a disease. Yes. Yes, it is. I conform to no one. I am my own drummer. Hello, all. We are in a heck of a traffic jam. Ugh. You're not causing it, are you? You would put a mattress in it? We got to have somewhere to lay down with the honeys, don't you? Because you know they're all going to want to be getting in our short bus with us. Well, don't get in a wreck, April. Just take it slow and ease your way through. You'll get there. I told them earlier about our evening news, Carolina, how we did last night and what the product of that was. I'll say it again. We went out and played open mic night last night, did a set, and ended up getting a job out of it. So that has begun. Now we're going to do some videos and see if we can get the calendar filled up. So fantastic. The new band is on the move. Growing up in the world. I was in a traffic jam once. 3 dudes and 6 girls. Best night of my life. Nice. I tell you what. I've always found that the idea of that is much more appealing than actually doing it. I have actually done it and found it to be quite awkward. It's definitely not what the fantasy suggests it is. It's a whole lot of, where do you put that? What are you doing? Oh, ow, my back. Ow, get off my hair. You know, that sort of thing. It never seems to work out like the movies. No, that's well choreographed and planned out in advance. Doesn't work that way in real life. A lot of, Don't want to do that anymore. And heaven forbid you do that with somebody you actually love. Now you got a problem. Now you don't know if she enjoyed that more than she enjoys you. And now you don't trust her anymore. It was your idea. And now you don't trust her anymore. Never do that with somebody you love. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to do it, make sure it's with strangers. Trust old Jake on that one. I won't lead you astray. Three guys? That's what you heard? Didn't hear the 6 girls? I don't trust strangers, though. True, but it's better to start off in a position of not trusting them than to trust them implicitly, have an affair, and then no longer trust them. It's better to start off that way. You don't want to think that your wife would ever mess with another dude. That thought, like a brain worm, seeps its way in and will not go away. In that case, ignorance is bliss. Of course, it's possible, but you don't ever want to think it, because that'll put a damper on your day. Any wife I've ever had, I want to trust them implicitly. I want to know that they're faithful. Even if it's not true, I want to know it. I want to have no doubt about it. I certainly don't want to be thinking while I'm at work, I wonder what she's doing right now. I wonder if it involves someone other than me. That person we had a threesome with only lives 3 doors down. What's stopping them from getting together without me? You know, that sort of thing. This got heavy quick. No, it ain't heavy. I'm not even married. I'm just reminiscing about the reality of the situation. Reality is kind of heavy, though. I have been married several times, though. I am a collector. I've got as many wives as I got fingers. So, you know, I do know a thing or two about it. Zip it. I'll never zip it. You can't make me shut up. You can't cut me off. You don't even know where I'm getting it from, young lady. Never, never, never. Nonconformist. 2 dudes and 1 girl is not a threesome. It's a train. Well, yeah, you got a point there. Although, I would never be involved in that sort of situation. I have this thing about bumping uglies. I don't like to do it. Memories. Slightly out of focus, but memories. Memories. April, stop it. You're giving me dirty thoughts. I know. So was I. Anyway, on to greener pastures. Let's talk about the short bus. I have been dreading movies for the past 10 years. I believe in my heart that the people that make movies have gone insane and hired a bunch of children, uneducated, untalented, unrefined bunch of morons to run everything. How they did that is because of the boomer generation. The boomer generation was kind of rough because their parents went through the greatest generation, which is the war. So they had hard lives. Then they raised us, and they were kind of tough on us in a different way. And then we had children. And those children, we were bound and determined not to let them have the same kind of lives we had. So we nerfed everything and made everything equal. It made everybody get trophies whether they did anything or not. Blah, 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 blah. And now that generation is taking control of everything. They've reached the age of accountability, and they're out there in the world. And they're morons. They don't know anything. They've never faced adversity. They have no idea what love is or what pain is or what emotions are. All they know is a Prozac'd out existence of getting a trophy for showing up. That's the world we live in. Those people are now running things. There is some hope though, because Gen Z, which is their children, have seen the bullshit and by capita are on average about 90% more conservative than their predecessors. That's a good thing. Yes, your generation failed its children. That's correct. They failed them because they were trying to protect them. And in doing so, they robbed them of the things that make people interesting. I will say this, and I'll probably get ridiculed for it. But as a victim of it, and I do mean this literally, you ask anybody that grew up with me, they'll tell you, I'm a victim of bullies and a victim of sexual abuse and that sort of thing. And now that I'm grown and can reflect on my life, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because that weeds out the weak, promotes the strong. I hate to say that. I don't mean that in a mean or satirical way. But the truth is, if you don't face adversity, you don't learn who you are. If you don't take the stripes, you don't get the strength and the courage to stand up and stop it. Or you crumble under the pressure and go away. And that's the way the world should work. You know, in the old days, in the Roman days, if a child was born with a deformity, they would throw it out with the trash. It would cease to exist. Therefore, you don't have a society full of deformed people. Now, I don't agree with that practice, but there is something to be said for that stark reality. I do agree with that in the sense of mentality. There are some very weak-minded people in this world, and they have been allowed to continue way longer than they should have. When nature should have eaten them alive in their youth and either made them strong or got rid of them. That's the dichotomy. They were never faced with that kind of adversity, so they were allowed to flourish without checking themselves. So I totally agree with the idea that the world is tough, and it should be. I'm not suggesting you throw out deformed babies. What I'm suggesting is stop nerfing everything. Let the world be what it is. It's hard out there for a pimp, but that hardness will strengthen you as much as it will destroy you. It only destroys the people who can't hack it. It only destroys the people who are weak, have no backbone, have no thing to contribute to society in the first place. So the ones that are able to overcome it, able to tough through it, and to make something of themselves in spite of it, those are the people you want running things. Children bounce rather well when dropped. Yes, they do. And I am right. It's tough, though, because saying that makes you a bad guy. Well, you can call me whatever you want to call me, but the world is tough. It just is. And it is a sad place. We live in a fallen society. But if you want to live in a society that's functional, then you need people with a little courage and strength to run it. Or you can have what we have right now. A government that seems bound and determined to do the dumbest thing possible on every occasion, hasn't achieved a single thing, and brags about everything they've done. Go figure. Say what you want about old Trump. This shit wasn't happening under his watch. Saying that makes you a good parent. I believe so. Although society doesn't think so. Because my parental rights were removed by the government over some such nonsense. So, we live in a bad world. That's all I can tell you. But I think it does make you a good parent to be able to see that your children are being brainwashed and nerfed all at the same time And if you don't put a stop to it, they're going to end up being the same mindless, drooling idiots that are running the world now. They're just making more of them. I agree with you, Sepson, 100%. All the current politicians definitely need to have a wake-up call. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, and we're probably going to end up speaking Russian before this is over with, or Chinese. But one can hope. One can hope that we still have some American pride left in us. Purge Congress. Let's just start over. I agree. I would like nothing more for that to happen, but I don't think America's ready for that. I would have thought that we would have stood up a long time ago and put our foot down, and we didn't. And one man can't do it. It takes everybody. Unfortunately, we're so spread out and so on opposition of each other that there's no consensus to stand up. The ones that want to are outnumbered. The ones that don't want to outnumber us. So, I agree with you, Sepson. I speak English. Send me to the camp. And they may have to, and it may come to that. The Bible says that a lot worse is going to happen before it's over with, so you can look forward to it. It's going to happen. Most of the population is rather compliant. They vax to the max and wear their mask of shame. That's right. That's right. They follow the science. I do not. I follow my common sense, my noodle of God give a goose common sense. And, you know, I've worked construction before, so I know that drywall dust will go through one of those masks. Pretty sure a virus will too. I'm just saying. You can say that now, though, because the science has changed. You couldn't say that 6 months ago, though, because you'd get canceled if you did. I follow these nuts. These nuts. Well, you kind of have to. They're in front of you. Yeah, but there's been a couple times, Sepson, that I thought that people would rise up and go, you know, that's about far enough, buddy. And they didn't. I just sat and watched them take it and just keep going. It's like frogs in a hot pan. They slowly turn up the heat and they just sit there thinking they're taking a nice warm bath. And pretty soon they're cooking. There have been a few times. There's been a few things said that I thought somebody would have responded to in kind, but didn't. Right now they're at your knees. Oh, that's scary. You might need to get that checked out, buddy. They're not supposed to hang like that. Right. Follow the science, but ignore what science actually says. That's because there's a difference between capital S science and real science. Real science says observe, test, and repeat. Capital science says whatever the scientists say, do that. That's right. Dumb down. And it happened fast, too. I mean, real fast. Like, I saw it happen. When I was a teenager, the kids would burn Iraqi flags at the bus stop. That's the kind of national pride that they had. We were in the Gulf War. And they didn't even know what an Iraqi was, or even where they couldn't point at a map and say where it was, but they had American pride. They believed in standing up for what was theirs. And then in a generation, poof, it was gone. I haven't seen, Trump was the first national pride person I've seen in the last 20 years. He's the first person to say, you know what, America first. That's why I voted for him, among other reasons. Everybody else, they refused to say God on television. The first time Jesus' name was mentioned on national television was after Trump's election. Since the 70s. They refused to say Christmas on TV. They started doing that again, but they used to say holidays. Remember that? Where they wouldn't even call it Christmas. You couldn't say Merry Christmas at an office party. Had to be holidays, happy holidays. When I was a kid, we were much, much more American than we are right now. It seems like right now everybody in charge hates America and wants to destroy the people of it. Now, I don't live in a delusion. I realize that we came over here and took over. But that's the nature of conquering lands. That's been going on since the beginning of time. I didn't create that idea, and I'm not going to be the last one to be part of that idea. It's going to keep going. People will conquer other people. It may be happening right now as we speak with Russia. But that's just how it happens. You conquer and you assimilate. And then that becomes the land. Well, this is America now. And we are Americans. We were born here. So regardless of what our ancestors did, we should fight for what we have. And stand up for what we believe in. Regardless of how we got it. Doesn't matter how we got it. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go back and change the past no matter how many statues you tear down. Or books you burn. Or ban. Same difference if you ask me. I wish we could go back to a time when people were proud of the country they lived in. When I was a kid, we wouldn't have had the immigration problems we have now. And I'm not against immigration. I just want it to be done right. All this jumping over the border shit and coming into the country unannounced and undocumented. That's not good. That's not good for a country. You don't have a border, you don't have a country. Simple as that. When I was a kid, that wouldn't have happened. There would have been military there in a heartbeat. There was a guy in Waco, Texas that claimed to be Jesus. Didn't hurt nobody. But he claimed to be Jesus. And they sent the military and burnt that son of a bitch to the ground. That's America. I don't agree with it, but that's what happened. That happened under a Democrat, by the way, Bill Clinton. His wife is the one that signed the papers that gave Janet Reno the power to send those people there. And those people, they weren't the Army, they were the DEA. But they had tanks and helicopters and flamethrowers and military flak jackets. Yeah, Waco. But it was the DEA. Not DEA, the tobacco and alcohol and tobacco and firearms. The ATF. And those people shouldn't be anything beyond bureaucratic. They should be wearing suits and ties and have clipboards and be going into bars to see if they're serving minors. But them some bitches had war stuff. And they went in and burnt that place to the ground and everybody in it. No malice. No forethought. No, hey, this might be the wrong thing to do. Just get her done. That was the wrong thing to do. But that mentality is the right kind of mentality. Just they applied it in the wrong way. Yep, Reagan, last proud of America president we had. At the time, I didn't like him, but hindsight is a wonderful thing. Hindsight is 2020. I remember all of his speeches when I was a kid. He'd come on TV and talk about that shining city on the hill. It was a real Camelot kind of feeling that he was portraying about America. And I miss that. I think we should be that. That's what made us a world power, that kind of mentality. Now, like I said, I do not agree with what happened in Waco. I think that was a horrible tragedy, and they should have never done it. But if they had that same kind of power and put it on the border to protect America, that would be wonderful. That's right. That just shows how the Democrats would like to treat all of us. That's true. But if you had that kind of power, if the ATF could have that kind of power, why couldn't you arm, say, ICE to go down there and protect the border? Seems logical to me. If you could burn down Waco over an accusation that the guy was Jesus when you know good and damn well he ain't Jesus and he can't hurt anybody, if you can do that, why can't you send some folks over there to protect the border and to keep the country sovereign? And then set up a checkpoint where people can come in the right way and get documented and come in and follow the law. That's what I'm saying. I want them here, but I want them here legally, and I want the government to be able to know where they're at, and I want them to pay their taxes and be part of the system. That ain't what the Democrats want at all. All right, rant averted. Hey, won't you do me a favor, guys? Take a moment. Hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications when I'm going to be online. Smash that like button. It's right in front of you. It's free. It takes no effort at all, and it really does help the channel with the algorithm, so there's no reason not to. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them to the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, challenge me, bless me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid, drink your own Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking critically, that's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And if you love what I'm doing here and you'd like to be part of it and you see the value in what I'm trying to create, won't you consider supporting the podcast by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too, because God notices these things in this reciprocal universe in which we live. And by the way, if you don't support what you love, it goes away forever. So consider that. And I appreciate the confidence and the support and the friendship and the trust. And I will do everything in my power to be worthy of that. And with that, I will finish this video by taking your questions and comments. Is that AIDS or Adidas? Or ALDS? Did you know about ALDS? I don't know what that is. I can't really see it that well. The only people I want to be a problem for are politicians. Yeah. It's a kindler and gentler America now. Well, it's definitely a more slender and more frosted tips and polished nails America now, for sure. Aldi's? ALDIS? I don't know what that is. Be more specific. Clearly, I do not know about it. Give me the Cliff Notes. I dropped my lid. This isn't good. All these nuts. You are a riot news now. Seriously, I'm about to get my flak jacket and shield. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta. Bat. Are you talking about the U bag at the grocery store? No. I don't know where that even came from. Are you talking about the U bag? Oh, the U bag at grocery store. Aldi, Aldi's. Oh, no. He's not talking about Aldi's. He was making a joke about Aldi's nuts. News now says, yep, the U bag it. That's what I was talking about. Welcome to the end of a thought process. Man, the pollen is crazy high right now. It's like got me all stopped up outside. It's like an inch thick on my car when I go outside. Just wipe it off. A grocery store called. Yes, we're talking about Aldi's, the grocery store. And while we're at it, if I've got to bag my own groceries, you should give me a salary. If I have to work here, I should be getting a paycheck. Think about that, America. Stop with the self-checkout. I come to a grocery store. I went out in the aisle. I picked my groceries. My job is done. You ring it up. Spring is close. That it is. It seems to be stalling, though. It's hot, it's cold. It's hot, it's cold. It's hot, it's cold. Pollen everywhere. Yeah, or at least a discount. Don't blow your nose on camera, Jake. It's unprofessional. Bad boy. That's why I don't like eating at Subway. If I had to pick out my own sandwich, I'd make it here at the house. I don't want to tell you everything to put on it. I want you to put it on the menu. I want to pick that, and then you make it. Too many decisions. The world's gone crazy. Nobody wants to take the blame. But I got good news. All you got to do is read the Bible. It's been foretold the good guys win the game. And at the end of time, there's going to be a big revival. So take control of your soul and stay away from the flames. I bag it would be a great name for a bar open very late. I bag it. Another way to have less workers in the store. Good news. That's right. The gospel. Good news. Good news is, if you read the end of the book, you'll realize that the good guys win the game. That is the good news. More beer. That's good news too. You drink, I'll play. Did you hear about Wendy? Wendy from Wendy's? No, I didn't. What happened to her? Did she get these nuts? I know one joke and it's awful, so I'll refrain from telling it. Emotionally stunted 3-year-old is what you are. I like it. Tell it. All right. What do you get when you cross a drunk redneck and a parakeet? You don't know? I don't either, but you better listen when he's talking. I told you it was terrible. What do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros? Elevino. What's green and red and goes 100 miles an hour? I don't know what. What? What's green and red and goes 100 miles an hour? Dead baby in a blender. I see it. It's horrible. What's black and white and red all over? A newspaper, you say? No, a penguin in a blender. Why a blender? Seems like a blender always enters that joke somehow. Oh, the delay. Yes, horrible. All right, boys and girls, we made it to the top of the hour. It is 10:07. I love you with all my heart. Thank you so much for having a great conversation and being here on a Friday night to hang out with good friends and good talks and good times. I hope you have the best weekend, and I will see you on Sunday with some Bible study. We'll get into the good stuff and see what happens. Take care of yourselves and each other. Do me a favor, won't you? Go out tomorrow and find somebody to be nice to. Just be kind. Watch it change your life. Watch it remake your world from the inside out. I promise you it will. A little kindness goes a long way. The Beatles got one thing and one thing only right. All you need is love. Love can make the world go round. So take a moment and consider that in your interactions as you go out day to day. And, be of good cheer. Bury these nuts in your mouth. I got you. I see where your brain is at now. Fair winds, everyone. I'll see you in the funny pages. Take care of yourselves. God bless you and your families. Let's get serious on Sunday and see what happens. Thanks for watching.